What if everything you were told about success was wrong? What if the rejections, the failures, the humiliations, and what if all of it was not the obstacle? What if all of it was the road? There is a man alive today who was rejected by Harvard University 10 times. 10 times he applied. 10 times they said no. There is a man alive today who applied to be a police officer. 24 people applied. 23 got in. He was the only one turned away. There is a man alive today who walked into a KFC when it opened in his city. 24 people wanted jobs. 23 got hired. He was the only one they rejected. That man built one of the largest companies in the history of the world. That man's name is Jack Ma. And today we are going to walk through the fire with him. Because what Jack Ma's life teaches us is not just about business. It is not just about money. It is about something far deeper. It is about what happens to a human soul when the world keeps saying no, and the soul keeps saying yes anyway. Picture a small boy in Hangzhou, China, 1970s. The city is quiet. The country is poor. Opportunity is a word most people in that neighborhood have never tasted. This boy is not remarkable, not on paper. He is small. He is not the smartest student in his class. Mathematics makes him want to disappear into the floor. He fails his primary school exams. Twice he fails his middle school exams. 3 times he takes China's university entrance exam, one of the most brutal academic tests in the world, and he fails. Not once, not twice, 3 times. 3 times the door slammed shut. 3 times the world looked at this boy and said, "Not you, not today, not ever." But this boy did something that most people cannot bring themselves to do. He kept getting up. Not because he was fearless. He was afraid. Not because he was certain. He was terrified. He kept getting up because somewhere deep inside him, buried beneath every rejection letter and every shameful exam result, there was a fire that the world had not yet managed to put out. His name was Ma Yun. You know him as Jack Ma. And the world that rejected him, he would one day change it. But before we get to the triumph, we have to sit in the darkness with him. Because if you skip the darkness, you miss the entire lesson. And this story is all about the lesson. Let us be honest with each other for a moment. You have felt this. You have felt what Jack Ma felt. Maybe not in China, maybe not in poverty, but you have felt that specific kind of pain. The pain of trying and failing. The pain of watching others get what you worked for. The pain of standing in front of a mirror and wondering, what is wrong with me? Jack Ma knows that mirror. After failing his university entrance exam 3 times, he finally got into Hangzhou Teachers Institute. Not his first choice. Not his second, not even his third. A school others overlooked. A school that felt like settling. But he went, and he studied English. And he graduated, and then he applied for 30 different jobs. 30. Every single one said no. He applied to be a teacher at a university, rejected. He applied to KFC with 23 others. 23 got hired. He alone was turned away. He applied to be a police officer. He alone out of 24 was rejected. Can you imagine that? Can you feel what that does to a person? When you are not just failing tests, you are being looked at, assessed, evaluated as a human being, and the verdict keeps coming back the same way. Not good enough. Not the right fit. Not what we are looking for. He applied to Harvard 10 times. 10 times. And you might laugh, but ask yourself honestly, would you have applied a second time? Would you have had the courage to face that rejection 9 more times after the first one? Most people stop after 1 no. Most people decide after 1 closed door that maybe this path is not for them. Maybe they should play it safe. Maybe they should shrink. Maybe they should stop wanting so much. Jack Ma did not shrink, but that does not mean he did not suffer. Do not let the success story fool you into thinking the pain was not real. It was real. The embarrassment was real. The self-doubt was real. There were nights, you can be certain of this, there were nights when this man lay in the dark and asked the universe why. Why does it keep happening to me? What am I missing? What does everyone else have that I do not? And the universe, and for a long time, did not answer. Then came 1995. Jack Ma traveled to the United States for the first time. And someone showed him something he had never seen before. Something that barely existed yet. Something that most people, even in America, did not fully understand. The internet. He typed the word beer into a search engine. Results came back from Germany, from America, from Japan. He typed the word China. Nothing came back. No Chinese websites, no Chinese businesses, no Chinese presence in this new digital world that was about to swallow everything. And something happened inside Jack Ma in that moment. Something shifted. Something that all those years of rejection and all that pain, all that practice of refusing to quit, had been quietly preparing him for. He did not see a problem, he saw a door. He came back to China with almost no money, no technical background, no investors, no guarantee of anything. He gathered 17 friends in his apartment. He spoke to them with a passion that probably scared some of them. He told them they were going to build something. He told them it would be hard. He told them most people would think they were crazy. He was right about all of it. The first version of what would become Alibaba was rough. Investors said no. The technology giants of the time, the ones in Silicon Valley, who were already rich and powerful, they were not impressed. Goldman Sachs gave him a small investment. SoftBank eventually came, but the early years were brutally hard. There were moments when the company could not make payroll, moments when the whole thing looked like it would collapse, but something had changed in Jack Ma. All those years of rejection had built something in him that money cannot buy and talent alone cannot create. They had built endurance, and this is where we go deeper. Because the story of Jack Ma is not just a story about one man, it is a story about a set of principles, truths that live inside his journey, and they are available to every single one of us. Every single one. The first truth is this: rejection is not the end of your story. It is the author of your character. Every time the world said no to Jack Ma, something happened inside him. He did not know it was happening. You never know it is happening. But failure, real failure, the kind that humiliates you, the kind that makes your stomach hurt, that failure is building something in your bones. It is building resilience. It is building hunger. It is building the kind of grit that comfort could never create. Think about the bamboo tree. You plant a bamboo seed and for 4 years nothing visible happens. You water it every day. You fertilize the soil, you wait, and people look at you like you are foolish. 'Cause nothing is there. Nothing they can see. But underground, the roots are spreading. They are going deep. They are becoming unshakable. And in the 5th year, the bamboo shoots up 27 meters in 6 weeks. You are not failing. You are growing roots. The second truth is this: your biggest weakness might be your greatest weapon. Jack Ma is not a programmer. He does not understand code. He has said this himself, openly, without embarrassment. The man who built one of the greatest technology companies on earth cannot write a single line of software. And yet what Jack Ma had, what no coder in the world could replicate, was vision, was belief, was the ability to walk into a room and make people feel that the impossible was not only possible but inevitable. His weakness in technical skill forced him to hire people smarter than him. It forced him to become a leader instead of a doer. It forced him to build something bigger than himself. Stop being ashamed of what you cannot do. Start asking what your limitations are forcing you to become. The third truth is this: the ones who fail the most are often the ones who care the most. You do not fail 30 job interviews if you are not trying. You do not apply to Harvard 10 times if you do not believe. You do not build a company from scratch in a tiny apartment if you do not burn with something. Most people never fail spectacularly because most people never try spectacularly. They stay safe. They stay small. They protect themselves from rejection by never truly reaching. Jack Ma reached over and over and over again, and over and over and over again the world knocked his hands away. But here is what nobody talks about. Every time he reached and missed, he learned something. He learned about the world. He learned about himself. He learned about what mattered and what did not. By the time the right door finally opened, he had been educated by failure in ways that no university in the world could have taught him. Your failures are your tuition. Pay them willingly. The fourth truth is this: timing is not the same as luck. People look at Jack Ma's success and they call it luck. They say he was in the right place at the right time. And yes, the internet was emerging. Yes, China was growing. But there were thousands of people who saw the same internet he saw. There were thousands of people in China at that same moment in history. How many of them built Alibaba? Luck is when opportunity meets preparation. Jack Ma had been prepared by years of failure, by years of resilience, by years of learning how to endure. When his moment came, he was ready. Not because life had been easy, because life had been relentless, and so had he. The fifth truth, and listen to this one, because this one might change your life. The fifth truth is this: you do not need the world to believe in you. You need you to believe in you. Every investor who passed on Alibaba in those early years, they were not stupid people. They were experienced. They were smart. They looked at Jackma and they did not see what he saw. They looked at the numbers, the market, the mandarin, and they said no. If Jack Ma had decided that their vision of him was more accurate than his own vision of himself, Alibaba never happens. The world's opinion of you is just an opinion. It is not a verdict. It is not a sentence. It is not the final word. You are the final word. I want you to stop for a moment. I want you to think about the thing you have been told you cannot do. The dream someone laughed at. The plan someone called unrealistic. The version of yourself you have been quietly, carefully, secretly protecting because you are afraid that if you try, really try, and fail, it will destroy you. Jack Ma was rejected by every major force in his world. His academic system rejected him. His job market rejected him. The global investment community rejected him. And somewhere along the way, he made a decision that is almost incomprehensible in its courage. He decided that their no was not his no. He decided that what they saw when they looked at him, that small, unimpressive, mathematically challenged boy from Hangzhou, was not what he saw when he looked at himself. He saw something they could not see, not because he was delusional, not because he was arrogant, but because he had lived inside his own hunger long enough to know that it was real, and that hunger, that stubborn, ridiculous, beautiful hunger, it built something the world had never seen before. Today, Alibaba has served billions of people. Today, Jack Ma has touched more lives through commerce, through employment, through inspiration, than most kings and emperors who ever lived. And it started in a small apartment, with 17 people, with a man the world had told no, more times than most of us will ever be told in our entire lives. The world was wrong about Jack Ma. The world might be wrong about you. Think about that. Let that sit in your chest for a moment. Because it is not a small thought. It is not a comfortable thought. It is a thought that demands something from you. It demands that you stop giving other people's doubt more power than your own belief. It demands that you stop measuring your future by your past. It demands that you get back up. One more time, get back up. So here is where we end. And here is what I need you to carry with you when this video is over. You are going to fail. If you are living fully, if you are reaching honestly, if you are trying for something real, you are going to fail. That is not a threat. That is a promise. And it is the best promise anyone has ever made you. Because failure means you are in the game. Failure means you are trying. Failure means you have not given up on yourself yet. And that is everything. Jack Ma did not succeed in spite of his failures. He succeeded because of them. Every rejection carved away everything that was weak and left only what was essential. Every closed door forced him to find a window. Every no taught him something that a yes never could. This is your moment, not tomorrow. Not when the conditions are perfect, not when you feel ready, right now, today. The thing you have been putting off, start it. The dream you have been dismissing, claim it. The version of yourself you have been too afraid to become, step into them. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are exactly where Jack Ma was before the world found out who he was. And the world is about to find out who you are. Get up, try again, fail better, and keep going. Because the only story that truly ends is the one you stop writing.